This video will show you how to use textures in SketchUp. Firstly, we're going to put some flooring in. I'm going to choose the paint bucket here. And make sure you have the brick at the end there at the very top if you select the brick. The drop down menu will bring up a whole range of real life textures. See timber here, you're going to choose any timber, bring the paint bucket down and then click on the floor and that whole space will be filled with timber flooring. In this instance we want that home theatre room there to be carpeted, so we need to separate by drawing a line at the bottom. You'll notice a rectangle will come up here. You can just pick up the mouse pointer and delete that space. Now we have a line separating our rooms. If we pick up some carpet, paint that room, it will be defined by that line. We can zoom in here a little bit and just erase that line if you like. We just press hide, so we don't want to erase it, just want to highlight, right click and press hide. Another texture that's built into SketchUp is some concrete for the garage. You can play around with some of those inbuilt colours in SketchUp. Now we move to importing some textures from the internet. Open a new tab and I'm just going to type in tile texture here. And what you'll find is Google has a vast array of different textures that we can download. Click on images. See at the top you'll find a whole bunch of tiles, different styles of tiles. Textures are when they are a 2D shape rather than just a 3D photo of tiles. It's something we can use as a texture in SketchUp or any 3D modeling software. Just going to choose something here that's relevant. If I type in seamless, that also means that when the texture is painted onto a wall, you won't necessarily see the tiling of it. Meaning you won't see the separate pieces. They should repeat when you put the picture next to each other. When you find one you like, you can save it. Call it something relevant. Here I'm just saving it as a JPEG to the desktop. Now back in SketchUp, you need the paint bucket tool. You're going to need to choose the drop down that says colors in model. And then another drop down box where it says color. And go down to new texture. I'm going to find it on the desktop. That texture I downloaded. Press open. Now it's going to open up a dialog box. The actual size. What would the size be in real life? I'm going to suggest that's about 1/2 meter by 1/2 meter. Here comes the dialog box. So instead of a meter, which is 1000 millimeters, I'm going to change that to 500. I'm going to click on the bottom box. It should keep it in scale. Press OK. And you'll see that that new texture is now imported into SketchUp. And I can get the paint bucket tool, paint on the wall that I want those tiles to be. Here you can't see where the different images are. That's what I was talking about with seamless. When you do your search. Now I'm going to pick up another tile texture and show you what it might look like if it's not seamless. I'm going to repeat the process I did before, so downloading that image, calling it something relevant. Do that color drop down and new texture. Select your new image you've downloaded. Type in your scale that you think it is in real life. Remember, 1000 millimeters equals 1 meter. You can change that, I'll show you that in a second. I'm going to paint that new texture on the wall. Here you can actually see the edge of the image. If I zoom in, you can see where the image hasn't necessarily repeated itself. Doesn't look too bad from a distance though. Some images will look far worse than that. Now what you can do with scale, you select the image and double click in the actual paint box, bring that scale up again, so you can change it on the run. If you think, oh, originally I did it a bit too small, you'll see it changes. So as I'm typing, if you watch the wall, it's gone bigger, depending on what scale I type into those boxes. I'll get a bit ridiculous here just to make it clear. Yeah, it's gone bigger. So you're not bound by the original scale you put in. Just remember that if you do change the scale for one wall, it will change the scale on all the other walls where you've painted that specific texture. I'll show you again on this first tile we put in. Just double click on it. And that's gotten bigger again. Okay, here you can choose the button to the left, and just for standard colors that aren't textures, you can use a bit of a grayscale slider here. You can use the RGB, red, green, blue slider to really customize your color that you want to put on the walls. Use those sliders. Or you can also use the color wheel. Really, you should be able to get the exact color that you're after on your walls. You can use those standard colors as well, just as pencils. And that's it for part 3 of the house design videos.